All right, here we go. An introduction into the Cincinnati defense. I want to talk a little bit about kind of their scheme. They're a three down front the majority of the time, which means defensive linemen are going to cover the center and the two tackles. They're going to have four backers. Here you can see are their four backers. This is going to be a safety rotating down, but it's a 3-4 defense. Now, some things about their defense. You're going to notice that sometimes they're only going to have these three defensive linemen up on the line, and you're going to see their four backers walked back. Now, when they bring a motion, which is what you're seeing right here, because of the motion, that's why this player is walking down. But let's say that they line up in 2-by-2. It's not uncommon for you to see a backer out here, backer, another backer walked out. And only these three defensive linemen on the line of scrimmage. Now, there will be times that they walk guys up. There will be times that they will spike one of these ends and they will bring a backer off the edge, especially as teams counter. This backer is going to feel that when everybody on the offensive line steps down, he's going to feel really hard. They'll play man coverage on the back end here. They'll lock up and play man coverage places. They'll play with a single high. They'll have a whole player in the middle. You're going to see a team that at times, I'm going to call it backer catch, which means these D linemen are going to be getting upfield, and they will run little games inside here. They'll do little things like this. They'll run a little twist inside. But what they'll do is the linebackers, they'll hang, and then what they'll do is they'll read their keys. And if they get hard run keys, they drive hard. If they get hard pass keys, they're back. And if they feel like they're getting a slow play with a little back action, they'll slow play it. But they're basically a net here that is to either catch something or react if their key gives them a reason to react. You will see times that they will bring pressures. They can bring a corner pressure off an edge. They can bring a nickel pressure off an edge. They are a zone blitz team, but they are also a man blitz team. The other thing that is a little unique, and it only shows up in a couple snaps in this game, is they will move and line up to a 4 down front, and then they walk a couple backers up on the ball in different places, and so they are 6 up. And the snaps that I've seen, they are bringing all 6 guys, and they're playing man coverage behind it. This is a team that matches well to numbers. And what I mean by that is, watch as this motion comes right here. This is now going to make 3 receivers, a back that's in the box, and a single receiver over here. They do a good job of matching numbers. You can see 3 for 3 over here, right? They have their guys 1, 2, 3. It matches up with 1, 2, 3. They can manage the box numbers in here, and they also isolate a one-on-one. You're going to see that as offenses line up in different formations, meaning like bunch to the field, bunch to the boundary, they know when they want to match numbers. And then they also have a really unique snap where they cover up +1 everywhere, and we'll talk about that. But this is a fast defense. I believe it's a defense that relies on the speed of their linebackers, not necessarily what they're getting just up front by these 3. But these 3 up front are utilized to tie people up so then that their linebackers can be heavily involved in the action. I see a speed team from these 4 and also their secondary. So this will be a tough match for BYU. This was a really close ball game for the majority of 3 quarters, a tight game against Oklahoma, which Oklahoma uses a lot of formations. They have some really kind of interesting motions that they use to get numbers. A lot of stuff is also RPO type plays, where if you're going to match numbers, they know where they want to go with the football. This is going to be, to me, an exciting game, especially since it's the first home game for BYU against a Big 12 opponent. But this Cincinnati team, they fly around, and when their backers step up on run, they step up hard. So we definitely have some matchups on our hands. I'm going to continue with this play now, okay? And you're going to see just this motion. Some of the things that they do is when you motion from a 2-by-2 and you orbit into the backfield, you'll see this player walk up to the edge and then react on the play. Here you're getting a zone look, so you're going to see the safeties are going to rotate. I call this a 3 buzz. What that means is this backer, he can buzz out to the flat, and the safety's going to insert between him and the mic. So this would be the nickel Sam, and this is your mic. The safety comes down in between them into this whole space, and he's going to buzz out. On the outside, it's just cover 3 deep. They will play these zone schemes, but as you can see, watch this backer right here on this key. He's going to see this zone action. Here the offensive line steps down in zone action. So now what he's going to do is he understands there is no read right here. This quarterback is reading zone, but he's got to come fill because of that gap. he is going to have this C gap run responsibility. So as they crash down, he's going to get in that C gap. Those backers really know how to step up in their gap responsibilities, and you'll see that as they react to run game. All right, Cincinnati gets quick counted here. As you can see, Oklahoma is already lined up, already set. All of a sudden, Cincinnati's having to react on this quick play. Now, they cover it really, really well, right? So I'm not showing this because it was any type of major success on either one side, but it's because I want to show something that I see a number of times. This is going to seem really funny, okay? But I just want you to notice, it's going to almost look like a science thing at school when we were all like in junior high or something. I want you to have that picture in your head of this rotating movement moving that direction. And then I want you to now look back at the offense as I let it kind of go out in slow-mo. Can you kind of see how that works out? There are a number of times when Cincinnati does this movement where it's like safety's working this way, somebody's blitzing off this edge, corner's then coming down, another person's rotating, line is slanting this way, end is dropping. It's like this movement that looks like this. Now, it is systematic, right? They know who they're bringing. I believe this guy is supposed to be on a pressure, but because he's late, he realizes, shoot, I'm not going to get to the quarterback, so I'm just going to fall off right here. But now you can see this other player. You're not going to bring a guy, stop him, bring a guy, another, stop him. Something's going on. So I think this was a little bit of an inverted coverage here, meaning this is the guy that's the pressure. This is the guy coming down to the flat. This corner now is backing up. The safety's going here. He's walling. He's moving over, and now he's becoming the flat player. And you can see the D-line moving this direction. Again, you can kind of see this unique thing that it looks like almost like that. So I say that because there are a number of times when Cincinnati rolls a coverage really strong to the field where they'll even play half to the field, and we'll see that in some clips. But you're going to see they are a big rotation and movement and pressure team. And it shows up here on this clip. All right, this is a really good clip to look at because it shows some of their tendencies, but also how it opens some things up. Oklahoma misses an absolute shot here for a touchdown. But I want to talk about why that was there and what some of the things you're going to see from Cincinnati. You will see Cincinnati run half to the field. So if you notice, Oklahoma's here on the right hash. There is a ton of field up here to the top. A lot of the times, what you'll see teams play is you'll see them play cover 6, which means there's a flat player. This is a half player. He's going to be responsible for this half of the field. And then you're going to see these quarters players right here. So this guy would sink with depth, almost looking like man, but he's playing quarters. That's pretty common, playing quarters to the field. Here, they're going to play cover 2 from the far hash. This guy is going to work towards outside of this hash. But here's why this play works down here to the boundary. Look how far this player is from the hash. He has opened up so much space here in the middle of the field to take a shot. So what they've done is they're working this little zone sift. So it's going to be, here's the offensive line selling zone. Here's the sifter coming back the other way. Here's my running back giving action this way. I already have the defense kicked this way, playing half over here. But the defender, like I said, is off the hash. Look how far he is off the hash. So because he's that far off the hash, now we can just nod him. And what that nod is I'm going to run a corner post. So I'm going to nod him to the corner, and then I'm going to run that post. With a guy that's already wide, yet look how this receiver attacks him. He's already wide, but a vertical stem is attacking him right where he's at. So when you give that little nod, right there, do you see that guy turn and how he made that turn? I'm going to back it up just a little bit. Right here, he's square. Now you got him to turn his shoulders and break. He's toast. Game over. Now we got him. This is easy. If we get an opportunity like this in the game, we need to capitalize on big plays like this. Okay, I'm using this clip because of where it ends up. Now, I don't think we'll see us do that many things. We're going to motion quickly into the boundary, but BYU is a team that will put 3 receivers at times into the boundary or motion somebody over there because they're going to potentially have like a little quick screen that if the defense doesn't match numbers, we can take it. But I want to talk more about how Cincinnati is really good at matching numbers despite the field space. They're going to match numbers in the coverage that they want to be in regardless of field space. Okay, so I'm going to break the field space up like this. If you look at the hash down here, and you look at how many players Oklahoma has to the boundary, which the boundary down here. Okay, so I'm going to highlight them. We have a running back. We got tight end, receiver, receiver. We got 4. Now, they are playing a cover 2 coverage. So we have a flat player, we have a half player, we have a half player, we have a flat player. If you notice, this half player is way off of the hash. Why is he way off the hash? Because look at the amount of players that are way over towards the numbers. So he's going to adjust. Now I want to notice how once the play goes, they're going to kind of disperse and they're still going to match. Like right now, this is the mic. The mic is sitting on the hash, splitting the formation, not the field. He's splitting where the numbers are. So now they're going to go Tampa 2 here. Watch. So corner's going to step up really hard to protect against the screen. This safety is going to be really wide so that there is no chance of bluff, which BYU runs a lot of. So who knows, we may get this exact same thing here to protect that BYU can't run their little screen and go stuff that they like to do. But Cincinnati's in their Tampa coverage, so guess what? That mic is going to run deep, and you're going to see this. There goes that receiver right down the middle of the field. He pushes the mic out of there. Again, I want us to notice the numbers thing. I'm going to circle the offensive guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Offensive guys. Now go to the defensive guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how they +1? That's exactly what they want to do. They want to make sure that they match numbers, and as soon as that guy goes vertical, there goes the plus. That mic is going to go to the middle of the field, and he's going to get depth. If this player were to run a shallow to the other side of the field, he is not getting depth. He is going to hang right there because now, what did Oklahoma just do? They +1 to this side of the field. So this mic doesn't have to add over here. But now I want to roll it. Look what they got up at the top side. There's their shell 2/1. So quarterback does the right thing here. If you look at numbers, +1, +1, right? The offense has 1 guy, defense 2. Down here, the offense has 4 guys, 5. I'm going to check it down. That's what he does right there. He checks the ball down. It's a smart play. Notice the space. I'm going to do this. Notice these are the defenders. That's essentially the space. All of this, you're going to say, all right, that's covered area. This space inside of here that's red, that's the area that the running back has to make somebody miss. And what is there? 1 defender in there. Now, I know this guy's adding on, but that's space. That was a good decision by the quarterback. If we get coverages like this is where Keaton's going to have to dump the ball down too, because there is absolutely yardage there to be picked up if they're going to match numbers, expand as a defense, and leave those check down spots open. Okay, we're going to talk about another coverage. It's a coverage we've seen. It's Tampa 2, but I want to talk about the distribution again because this is something that I feel like Cincinnati does a good job of. As you can see, the offensive formation here, they have 2 receivers here to the field. They have stack receivers to the boundary. Something to notice is how wide they are outside the numbers and where they are close to the sideline. And then also notice where the back is going to go because that's going to influence where the mic goes. So defensively, what they're going to do is they're going to play a Tampa 2 coverage. So the safeties are going to be in halves. The corners are going to be in cloud. You're going to have these 3 backers underneath, but the mic is going to go run to the middle of the field. That's why it's important to notice which way the running back goes. Because he's adding a 3rd element. We have 1, we have 2, and now the back going this way makes 3. Because that 3rd element is going there, you're going to see this mic, he's going to push to the boundary. Okay? What that does is that makes the numbers where they need to be based off of alignment. So these receivers are going to push vertical. The back is going to go to that side. That becomes the 3 receiver side, or what some people would call the speed side. Because of that, you're going to have the safety over the top. Now notice how he, again, is kind of cheated to the numbers here. He's not distributing himself based off of the field alone. If it was strictly by the field alone, he would be slightly outside of the hash with the mic running to the middle of the field. But that's not how the offense has distributed the players in their formation. So Cincinnati is working their field balance based not off of the field, but off of the players and numbers. So that's why you notice the safety being all the way over here. Yes, playing half, but playing half on the numbers. And then the mic is going to push to the side that the back goes. So if I let this play out, and now you can see after the receivers have pushed vertical, they start to run their routes. I want you to look at field distribution. If I draw a line down this hash right here, you can see Oklahoma has 1, 2, 3 receivers. So Cincinnati is playing in that space, 4 over the top of them, playing their to Tampa. And then if you look at here, look where all this space is. Tons of space. But how many receivers does Oklahoma have? Only 2. And so the distribution is done 3 over 2. So they're playing their Tampa coverage, but their numbers are well distributed based off of the field. And I think this is something that they do a good job of. It shows up when the teams, when they play run action and they're in play pass, they distribute really well. When they're in coverage, whether they're dropping 7, whether they're dropping 8, even in formations where they align well to numbers, and they displace and they move their defense well according to numbers. All right, I want to take a look at this because this shows a lot of what Cincinnati likes to do in some of their zone defenses. So as you're going to see it play out, they're going to rotate to a 3 buzz here, but something unique about it, these are the 3 safeties. You're going to see this safety come down and he's going to play in this hole. And you're going to see that they have 1, this will be 2, 3, 4, 5 guys underneath. So they're only rushing with 3 guys, 3 D linemen, right? That's a drop 8 coverage. That's what you see a lot of the times in longer down and distances. But what they're doing here, this is kind of a staple to what I see sometimes. They use these 3 interior linemen to occupy, right? They're not necessarily trying to just get pressure with these 3. What they're trying to do is they are trying to occupy offensive linemen so that then the speed of their backers can play. And that's what I'm saying is they sit back, they catch and react. But watch this. You're going to get a counter scheme here. So Oklahoma's going to have their down blocks, and they're going to go and they're going to pull the guard and the tackle. And right here, this linebacker, you're going to see he's going to step up and fill really, really hard. The other thing you're going to see is this defensive tackle here is going to get his read. When he sees these 2 linemen pull, watch him move with them. So you're going to see he starts to move with them, see him move with them, and then you're going to see this backer is going to fill really hard. This is what they do a lot. They really bring these guys downhill hard, and now he's making contact with that offensive lineman at or even behind the line of scrimmage. This is them using the backers, which I believe the reason why they get into some of these schemes is because this is where they feel like the strength of their defense is. The speed of these backers and the way that they're going to react downhill, and they're going to make contact like this in the backfield. Now, this isn't a run. They're giving a little action here, but if they were to give this run, this is where this running back, when he settles his feet to decide where he wants to go because this gets blown up, now everybody can react to the ball. Ideally, this, if they did give the handoff, this is going to be a kick out and he's going to pull up. So if you can blow that up, that really impacts the ability to run. Now, this they're play action faking, but I just wanted to be able to show, if you look at their defense as they come down right here, this is a 5 underneath. And all these D linemen are doing is just trying to occupy so that these players here are the ones that can then make the plays. Okay, this is down in the red zone. This is similar to the last clip I just showed. This is a great picture of what you get some of the times. You can see they have their 3 defensive linemen. They're going to rotate a safety down. A lot of that is happening because as this motion is coming across, again, it goes back to numbers. But what they're going to do is they're going to get to this 3 deep, and then you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 under. This 3 deep, 5 under here in the red zone is a drop 8, but watch these backers. Watch how downhill these backers are, and then also watch how they know where the numbers are going. Right here, when he pulls the ball, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to move the numbers to this side of the field, and backside here you have the one-on-one with that defender in the underneath coverage helping out. So again, this kind of goes to show you what they do a really good job of is they know how to move the field in their coverages to match numbers. And look, is there really an emphasis on rushing the quarterback in this look right here? There's not. You can see this other defensive lineman here. Watch him start to drop out as well. They aren't always trying to get that pressure with those linemen. What they're trying to do, their D linemen, what they're trying to do is disrupt and occupy, and then react to what the quarterback does. Can you see how there's limited space here? Where's this quarterback going to throw the ball, right? If he tries to go upfield, that's a no. If he tries to go to this next in the progression, no. This in the, no. He's got to outlet the ball. Once he outlets to his check down, now you're going to see bodies running. That's so much of the time what I see them trying to do. Now, they do bring pressure, and there's some of those looks coming up. They'll bring pressure. They'll play man coverage behind it. But I think they're really comfortable in, we will disrupt and occupy with our interior 3D linemen, and then we are going to fly to the football with everybody else. Okay, in this clip, you're going to see some edge boundary pressure here. This is the nub side tight end. You can see the 3 receivers are to this side of the field. So what they're going to bring is they're going to bring a backer and a corner off of this edge. You're going to see the rotation move this way. You're going to see the safety get closer to the middle of the field. And I believe it's just man coverage over here. And so watch as the clip rolls. There goes the motion. That means this backer will bump in. You're going to get boundary pressure here that stays on into the nub side tight end. There's the rotation of the safety, and it's a man look. It's a man scheme. The only difference is, as this player is running across, he's not going to run all the way across. You're going to see him move over just in case that he slips out into the flat out here. He would take him. But you're going to see these type of things a lot. You're going to see these variation of pressures. Here it's coming from the boundary. And you're going to see man schemes. Yes, like I said in other clips, they do run a lot of zone coverage and they try to fly around to the football. When they do bring pressure, a lot of the time it's man behind it. Okay, speaking of man pressure, here's a look that happens a number of times. I want to start by identifying they begin in their original 3-man front. And then they also have their 4 backers. This is who they are by their personnel scheme, 3-4. But what you see is, watch them as I let this clip roll. They're going to make an adjustment, and they're going to get into a 4-down look. Okay? And then what they're doing is they just shifted, and now they are in a 4-down look with these as backers. Now, it doesn't mean personnel-wise that's what they're doing. They're still staying true to who they are, 3-4. But they're going to get into what looks like, can you see how they're covering up the A-gaps here? They have wide ends. They walk the backers up. They're basically getting into the structure of closer to what a 4-down look would be. A 4-down look would be like a 1 technique and a 3 technique. You can have even here where you got 2 2s, or you can get in a 2I and a 3. There's all these different things that you can do, but it's kind of the structure of 4-down on the inside. You don't have a covered up nose. So here they do that. They walk the backers up, and then now you can start to see the shape of this man coverage show up, and then they're going to bring pressure. They're going to bring all these 6, and you're going to have the free safety sitting in the middle of the field. So a number of times, I don't know if this was just an Oklahoma thing, but they would shift into this 4-down structure. They bring pressure. You can see this little twist, little game that they do here where he's going to be the looper. And it could also be, the other thing that it could be is that he's responsible for the back. And so you see him making sure that the back doesn't get out. There's a lot of things you don't know what they are. He fills the back in protection. He could be coming, I don't know exactly what they are because I'm not in the scheme, but they're bringing pressure and they're playing man behind it. And now, this was an opportunity for Oklahoma to hit something. He beats his guy. The guy falls down. If you catch this football, occupied, he's got some space to run with this. So if we get into these schemes where they're blitzing and playing man behind it and we can win, there's opportunities for some big gains. Okay, here's another unique clip. They're in 3-by-1. They're going to motion down. That motion is going to create a stack look here. I want to highlight what they're doing here, okay? Notice this triangle that they have over these 2 players. So what they're doing is they are playing a coverage that is man. You see the triangle 3/2. What he's doing is he's looking for the in-breaker. He's looking for the out-breaker. He's playing top hat. Meaning if they go here and here, he can take the inside guy. They still got help over the top, and then he'll squeeze. Same with outbreakers. Then what they're doing is they're bringing pressure. You can see this pressure they're bringing off the edge here. They're bringing a single man pressure, 5 guys, and then this is the person responsible for the back. If the back blocks, he would add on. The back tries to slip out, so he's taking him in man coverage. But I just wanted to highlight what you get here in 3-by-1. Do I know guaranteed that they were triangulating these 2 guys? I don't. But I know for sure that once they get into this point right here, now you absolutely see that triangle here. And then what you got, this is where you're singled up. They can double somebody inside here. They cannot out here, and they cannot out here. So it's a man scheme with this inside triangle, okay? Okay, I want to finish with this. This is a really unique look here in the red zone. But basically what they're doing is they are trying to cancel Oklahoma's ability to throw the football. They're basically saying, okay, if you're going to put 2 out here, we're going to put 3. That should make you not want to throw it. If you're going to put 1 out here, we're going to put 2. So that should make you not want to throw it. So basically we are going to limit you to running the football. Now, Oklahoma has more hats in the box. If you look at it, Cincinnati's got 6 guys in the box. Oklahoma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus their back, plus their quarterback, right? So if you run some kind of like QB run here with a lead, you got them beat. But this kind of, I think, shows their confidence in their ability to chew people up, utilize their backers. It's a run play right here, and it gets stuffed. Now, what would have happened if the quarterback would have kept this? Who knows? But this is a really unique deal. Like you see this in coverage sometimes where they'll use safeties over the top to walk somebody over. They'll have a backer play what is the apex, meaning if this is the end man on the line of scrimmage for the offense, tackle or tight end, and here's a slot player, he's going to play the apex of that. Well, that's because he can help on the run and he can also help it in the pass game. So yeah, there are times that they can play 3 over 2. This is a completely different 3 over 2. Look how tight all of this is. Look how tight. This is basically I'm doubling you and I'm going to play 3 over 2 in very small space. So it is different. They're gambling here on the box, but their gambling pays off. So this is a look that, I mean, I got to be honest, you just don't see that very often. And I'm curious if we're going to see that in some of our red zone packages. But just to kind of finish up, this is a team that will blitz. They'll bring pressure. They'll play man behind it. But I think the nuts and bolts of their defense is saying we're going to use our 3 down to occupy and disrupt, and then we are going to play with all of our speed that we have at our underneath coverage level. All right, I hope everybody enjoyed that video on taking a little sneak peek at Cincinnati's defense and what they do with some of their schemes and coverages. Should be a good game. I hope BYU can do well. It's definitely going to be a tough challenge. I also want to just say thank you for those that are following the YouTube channel and that follow the stuff that I put out as I break down these videos.